Hey, in this video, I'm going to talk about AirFlare administration. So this is the administrator role, all of the administrator functions, essentially creating new accounts, disabling accounts, resetting passwords, all that kind of good stuff. I'll go ahead and share my screen. We'll start in Web Console. There is no admin out of Field Console, so this is all done via Web Console. And I'll just start at the beginning. I'll start at the login page. So there's my user ID and my password. I'll go ahead and log in. I get to the Web Console homepage. There's a couple of admin adjacent things here that I'll point out. This search history column is the running list of all searches done by your organization. It'll say who did the search over on the far right column, give you the status. In this case, both of these searches were reported, but whatever the outcome was, no report yet. The subject viewed the text message, but never sent their hyperlink, never sent their coordinates back. GPS denied, disabled, you never got coordinates. Whatever the status of that search was, it'll let you know who the subject was and the timestamp when it was initiated. Over here on the right, this is, you don't need to be an admin to see this. Everyone in your organization, AirFlare is kind of a high visibility, high transparency. We essentially want to make all actions inside of AirFlare search tools just visible. So this recent registry queries, this table is all queries done against the registry, regardless whether or not they turned into a search. So for example, if I conduct a new search, I'm just going to make up a phone number. I have no idea. This is a random phone number. 970-657-8654. Okay, just made that up. And I'm going to go ahead and search. Obviously, that person does not exist in the registry. They're not an AirFlare subscriber. But just by virtue of the fact that I searched the registry, it's going to put this, so that was a 970 number. It puts that query up here. It never turned into a search, but I queried the registry. Most active personnel, and it tells you who did it. It was done by Dennis at this date and time, and this was the query that they did. Most active personnel, recent personnel activations. This bottom table is just anyone that got access to AirFlare search tools in the recent past. We keep, back to the search history table, we keep searches for 3 months. Once searches become more than 3 months old, they start auto-deleting out of the bottom. Okay, let's get into the admin module and the admin function. If you are an administrator, or if you logged into Web Console under an admin account, you will know you're an admin because the name of your organization is hyperlinked. If you log in and you see your login ID up in the upper right-hand corner, that will always be hyperlinked. If your organization is not hyperlinked, you are not an admin. If you are not an admin and you think you need to be an admin, you can contact your patrol supervisor, another admin on your team, or you can contact me. In this case, me, logged in under dennisflee@gmail.com, is an admin. So I'm going to click on that hyperlink and I get to the admin page. This table is all of the personnel, all of the people who have access to AirFlare search tools. The name of the person, their email address, what platform they're on. This is just, are they Web Console? That's the globe. Web, the globe means they have a Web Console account, or Field Console. If you see an Apple icon or a robot icon, that means that this person has field console on their phone, and they're either on an iPhone or, if this was a robot, an Android phone. This is a little deep and tangential, but every once in a while, you'll see a single line item with a single email address. They have both a globe and an apple or a robot. Or sometimes you'll see same person, same email address, but there will be two line items. One of those line items has a globe, web console access. The other one is a robot or an apple, meaning they have field console access. It means the same thing. Sometimes they are in a single line. Sometimes they're split out in two lines. It just depends on how the accounts were created. And that's too deep for this conversation. I just wanted to make you aware that you might see that. Okay, cool. The combination between the status column and the commands column lets you know what type of access this person has. This person could be an admin or not. This person could exist and have accounts, but those accounts are disabled. I'll talk about that in a minute. Deny search. This person, Dennis Lee, Dennis at Vector Flight, I see the deny search button. The opposite of deny search is enable search. So if it says deny search, they're currently able to search the registry and conduct searches. If I click this button, I now see the button allow search. That means that this person, Dennis Lee, currently is not able to search the registry. He only has read-only access. Enough said. I'm going to allow search. Cool. So let's go through a couple of scenarios. Kevin down here with the Apple, that means Kevin has a field console account. Let's say that Kevin is a seasonal employee. He's gone in the summer, he's back in the winter. At the end of the ski season, I might want to go in and disable Kevin. Status disabled. Kevin can no longer access AirFlare search tools. If he has a web console account, he won't be able to log in. So I'll disable Kevin up here. He'll no longer be able to log in. If he has a field console account, it'll still be on his phone, but he won't get any search updates, and he's not going to be able to search the registry and conduct searches if he had those permissions to begin with. Okay? When Kevin comes back in the beginning of the ski season, I'll just go ahead and I'll re-enable Kevin. If Kevin has completely left the organization and he's not coming back, it's a two-step process. If you just want to clean up the table, you can disable, and then you can see the delete button showed up. You can delete, and that will completely wipe Kevin off of your personnel table. I'll go ahead and re-enable Kevin. Let's say two scenarios. Number one, you created an account for Kevin and you gave him the ability to search, but now you don't want him to search anymore. Or maybe when Kevin comes back, he came back as a volunteer patroller, whereas last year he was a pro patroller. So Kevin last year was able to search the registry and conduct searches, but this year you don't want him to. Could be a policy change in your organization, could be a status change on Kevin's employment, whatever it is. If I no longer want Kevin to search the registry and be able to conduct searches himself, I can deny search. Kevin on Field Console will be able to see all searches done and the results of all searches done by a dispatcher, by a supervisor, but he's not able to search himself. If I want to re-enable Kevin's ability to conduct those searches on his own, I can hit the allow search button, and now he's able to search again. This person here, K Lau, at this email address has a web console account. They're an admin. If I hit -admin, I can remove their admin privileges. If I hit +admin, I just made this person an admin. You do have to log out and log back in for anything that you do here, for yourself, for example, or if you've done something on Kevin's behalf, he'd need to log out and log back in to have those new permissions take effect. And the last one I want to talk about is the reset PW. That obviously means reset password. If this person up here, Dennis@vectorflight.com, forgot his password, you can reset password, and that will send him an email with his new password. I need to stay in this call. Awesome. Enough said there. Let's go down to the add personnel table. This is where you create new accounts. So let's say we have a patroller, Tina Smith. And her name goes there, and tina@resort.com. That's Tina's email address. You as an administrator can give Tina a web console account or a field console account, one at a time. You can't click both buttons at once. So it's one at a time. If I have web console and I hit save, Tina will get an email with her web console login. I can then go up and hit this radio button. If she needs both web console and field console, I can hit save, and she will get an email instructing her how to put field console on her phone and authenticate against her organization, et cetera, et cetera. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Before you hit save, you need to determine whether you want Tina to have query and search capabilities herself. If you want Tina to have search capabilities, leave the default. Can query registry and can initiate searches. If you want Tina to only have read-only access, then you can uncheck this box, and let's say it's field console. Tina, as a patroller in the field, would be able to open up field console and see all of the searches that were done by dispatch, see searches that were done by supervisor. She'll be able to get the coordinates of the subject. She'll be able to navigate out to that subject using Google Maps or Gaia or Avenza, but Tina will not be able to conduct searches herself. As I said before, if you make a mistake and you leave this checked, you can go up later and deny search if you want to change that status. Cool. Last thing I want to talk about is once you send someone a web console email, they'll receive an email in their inbox that looks something like this, web console alert, and they'll have their login and their password. If you send, and there's no expiration on that, okay? There's no expiration. Once they have a login and a password, it doesn't matter how many days later, they can go in and log into web console unless you go up and disable, okay? If you send someone a field console authorization, they will receive an email in their inbox that looks something like this, field console activation, and the instructions for downloading field console and authenticating against your agency. Those do have an expiration. It's 7 days. So if you send someone a field console account, they have 7 days to go in and act on that. Just a little tip. If you have like a big orientation and everyone's sitting there and you guys are just gonna, as a team, go through and get all your accounts set up, it makes a lot of sense for an admin to just do it all, right? If Tina needs a web console account, send her a web console account. If Tina needs a field console account, send her a field console account. She just can get it all done. If she obviously just needs one or the other, just select one or the other. There's another way for people who need both web console and field console. There's another way for Tina to give herself field console authorization. If you send Tina a web console account, she can go in and log into web console anytime she wants to. And then once she logs into web console, Tina can go up to her hyperlinked login ID at the very top of the page once she's in web console, and she can send herself a field console activation. Once she clicks her hyperlinked login ID and hits OK, she can send herself this field console activation, and that will start the 7-day timer. Cool. I think that's all I wanted to cover here. I think the last thing I should probably say is if you have a patrol or a dispatcher that comes up to you and says, hey, I never received that email, these emails do very often end up in spam. So make sure you instruct your patrollers, if you don't see your email in your inbox, go and check the spam folder. To be clear, whatever email that they sent, that you plugged in here is going to be this email address, and it's going to go to that inbox. Similarly, if you select reset password, it's going to go to that inbox under the email column. Awesome. I will come back into this video just to say goodbye. I'm going to stop presenting. Hi. Thanks so much. Have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.